Another yellow hat guy here, and again we're going to review Zelda Uni Link Begins. This is a hack game that was made by a nice set of French people, and it's been ported to the PSP, PC, and the Xbox. Today I'm going to play it on the Xbox because that's just my system of choice. This is not going to be like an AVN type video where you see me like, motherfucking dog shit and that's bullshit. You're not going to see any of that, at least not initially. You're also not going to see me, just destroy a game for the sake of destroying a game, right? They're hacks. But that's not the point. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, and I'll call it as I see it. Just want to put that out there initially. Yes, I am inspired by AVGN and other video game reviews, but my specialty is going to be on hack games. So starting with Uni Link Begins, I'm going to get into that whole trilogy at some point in time. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Here's Uni Link Begins. Alright, right off bat you see the fierce deity from Majora's Mask. So this is by Vince Juliet. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's the French guy who made it. And it's clearly a hack of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for Super Nintendo, which was, re-released on the Game Boy version as you see here. Very, very good game. So anyway, let's go ahead and start. I just basically chose one of the files that I already played on. And from here you can see, I passed some tutorial bullshit. But the first thing you do is get a shield, and after leaving this cave you find out, hey, you're not really in Hyrule. Now whether or not this is Pit from Kid Icarus, I don't know. But this guy's here to help you, and you basically follow him to his house. Seems kind of weird, but this is, again, Zelda, and you trust strangers and go in and out of their houses all the time. So he tells you you're in Termina, I never knew how to say that. But it's a secret land, and it's gotta remain secret, You're banished, I guess, since you can turn into the Uni Demon Link or whatever, and you're not allowed in Hyrule anymore. So you're looking for this artifact, a growl, I don't know. But you're looking for that thing, and if you're not reading along with this, I can't blame you. You're on a quest to find this thing in hopes that it can turn you back to normal. So here you go, you're out with just a shield, and you're looking for this nearest castle. I forget what the name of it is, but yeah, you're making your way there, avoiding any enemies along the way. So yeah, you can't really pick up anything. That whole Zelda feeling of wanting to do something, but you can't until you get something else, and then you come back later on to finally do it, and then you got to get something else to do it. So here we go. You're in the Farron Temple. And right off gate, just a whole lot of keys. Typical Zelda stuff. But what you may be looking at to your top left, you may think that's a magic meter, but that's actually your rage meter, if you will. Basically, the more damage you take, the higher that fills up. So that was a cool little innovation that they did there. They took something that was, already existing and made it somewhat a little more interesting. You might see more of that in a little bit. Well, you will see more of that in a little bit. But these guys just put all kinds of stuff in here to annoy you. So here we go, another key. So yeah, you want to get keys early and often so you don't have to keep backtracking. Although in later stages you have no choice but to do that. So I'm not going to play through this whole game, I just want to give you an idea of how this looks. So a couple of switches here, and the reason why I say that is because I don't want to spoil these games for others. I know there's lots of other channels out there that you can look at that have Let's Plays and walkthroughs, so, feel free to look at that if you feel that, this isn't enough or you don't like it or whatever. I'm hoping that you do like it, you know, and subscribe, but, you know, I'm not forcing you to. So enough babbling. All you can do is pretty much throw stuff. Damn fucking Spike. And these things are annoying as hell. If there's one thing I don't have that Zelda teaches you to kind of have is patience. And you gotta, you know, go back to get the skull just to kill the enemy to get through the door. You know, it's all kinds of little dumb shit like that. These French guys, I mean, they make you think. Lots of little puzzles. I think on the whole trilogy, the last one being the longest, I might have spent over 100 hours on that shit. So here we go. You can see my meter is filling up slightly. It's filling up blue. That means shit's about to pop off, if you know what I'm saying. But I'll wait and let you watch and see what happens before I just kind of explain what happens and why you should go ahead and do yourself a favor and play this hack. So here we go. Another key. I know you're like, man, when is he gonna get a weapon? I was feeling that way too, but you know, this pretty simple stuff so far. You just gotta keep your finger on whatever button you're using to run. Again, this is on PC, Xbox, PSP, and it may be on other systems by now. So here we go, another room, and we finally have what you've been waiting for, the sword. So of course you use the sword to beat the boss in here, and then you get this Growl. So how the Uni Link works is essentially you're pretty much cursed, right? You can't go back into Hyrule because of it. And you'll see why in a second, but first let's go see what Pit's talking about. So he pretty much tells you what we already knew. It didn't work, and we're fucking cursed. I mean, I told you the game was short, but you didn't think it was that short, did you? So he's telling you, again, that it had no effect, and it's a double-edged sword, and pretty much you're stuck, right? He also lets you know that, hey, that was just the first of a few more that you gotta get. So you gotta venture out of the forest and go ahead and find these other ones. Yeah, I mean, it's bullshit, but what did you expect? You're the hero of time. So he gives you the map of the whole area so you can see where you need to go. Yada, yada, yada. So there's not a whole lot on your map, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So let's see, where is this next area? You know, as all Zeldas, you know, a good indication is when the music changes, that, hey, you haven't been here before. So this is the witch, or whatever you want to call them, but, you know, another feature they added in this game is the, you know, instead of just collecting different things, as you do in the normal Zeldas, you have like little side quests of collecting monsters and fish and things of that nature. So here he is telling you, you know, you can get paid and, you know, yada yada yada. So basically the more enemies you get, the more shit you get. So you can see the monsters here. I should also mention when I made this video that clips were spread apart. I intended to make this on the Xbox. However, my capture card fucked up, so here I am on the computer using you know, a program to go ahead and record this. Again, I also say that to apologize to those who have been waiting for this for a while. I know I advertised it a couple weeks ago and never got around to it. Just life just catching up, you know, other shit going on. So this isn't a traditional review yet. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. If I'm just going to be focusing on the game or talking about my life in between. But, you know, there's a lot of time wasting going on when you play games like this. So this is just a kind of a experimental video, if you will, and next time maybe have some more concrete ideas of what I want to do. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and stock up. They tell you you gotta, you know, do this and do that. You're clearly looking for the bomb bag, and Curiosity has you looking for a bracelet. But this mine area, you've got to find this guy who used to know how to operate this shit, or, you know, he used to operate it. And that's the only way you're going to progress to the next area. So yeah, he works in the mine. He's trapped, pretty much like I was telling you before. So pretty much you got to find this guy, and I might just stop at this point. But I did want to show you more of what Unilink looks like before I just kind of cut this off. So what I'm going to do is show you. So let's just rewind to the first temple again. And pretty much when it's full, a message comes up letting you know that you can't use objects. You pretty much can't do squat. You're pretty much stuck like Unilink. And the only way to turn back is to kill enough enemies until, you know, instead of your meter going up, it goes down. So yeah, that about covers everything I wanted to show. It looks pretty cool. It's almost just a different color costume, but you can use your imagination and pretend you're, you know, the fierce deity Link, or excuse me, fierce deity Link. Final verdict, I give Unilink Begins 3 Earthworm Gems out of 5. Unilink Begins was a pretty good game, first in a trilogy, so, you know, there was room for improvement obviously, but it's a good starting point, and I recommend it to anyone who's a fan of Link to the Past. So, till next time, stay sensational.